Hey, I'm Kenneth Jones, and I'm here to tell you about our new community lot fit process, a how-to guide, and also tell you why we're using them. So to begin with, some of the benefits, the very first one being back office estimating. So first question is, how do you get there? So if we look at the homepage for Dropbox, go to Elliott Homes team folder, and then site-specific information and then we'll find the subdivision that we're interested in. Right now, I'll go to Florence Gardens, and then all of them have a O1 dash community information. So I'm going to go to O1 community information for Florence Gardens, phase 5, and then lot fits. So as you'll see right here, we have the different plans that we have. Then you can click on Altner Charles, and then we'll be able to see the lots. So for every single community, we do a area cost walk, and this just helps us really go through and understand and dive in deep into what those area costs could be. So as you can see, we can use the topo to understand potential fill dirt that may be needed. This lot had some previous wetlands that are being mitigated, so even though they're being mitigated by the owner, that doesn't mean that they have been filled. So they'll need actually a mucking and a filling, and that would have additional cost. There's also, in each one of them, we're able to see the area of clearing and filling and sod. So very important also from a sales standpoint. This is the area that the green area will be the area that we are planning on sodding for the homeowner. And the driveway square footage, as you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit, is approximately 970 square foot. Some of these are a little bit bigger just because the house is pushed back a little bit further in the lot. And then we also have this brown area, which will just be mulched underneath and left as a tree barrier. So we will have an option for the homeowners to be able to clear this and sod this as well. However, this is what the lot comes with. So we take all of these and we put them into a spreadsheet, determine cost for each one of those, and then do an average to be able to make sure that we're adequately spacing out the cost so one lot doesn't cost $5,000 more that doesn't be passed on to the homeowner for that exact lot, because it's no different. For example, lot 12 and lot 13 are basically the same lot. No piece of real estate is exactly the same, but for all practical purposes, there's no reason that someone may pay more for lot number 2, for example, as opposed to number 3, even if lot 2 cost us $5,000 more to build on than lot number 3. So understanding lot issues is the second reason. I'm going to go back over here to phase 5. Some of the things that can always come up in this are easements. So there is an easement that goes back to some other houses back here. That's the main entrance for the community. There's a drainage and utility easement. We also run into culverts that would be potential on these roads. So in this particular community, there are no culverts because there's no underground drainage. A lot of times we've seen where a culvert that was supposed to be on a lot line would be, for example, right here. That would severely inhibit, without major modifications, the ability to put a car and drive over it and then pull into the driveway. So if there was a culvert here, then we may have to face this house and have it be a garage left instead of a garage right. So the driveway would come from here and then over into the garage from there. So that's how we all understand some of the lot fit issues. There's obviously various other ones, but this is something that we go over with the production team to make sure that they understand what their potential issues are before we start construction and not during. The next thing is, of course, selling the right house. So we don't want to sell a house on a lot that does not fit. So when we go through this, if you will look at this one, the Alton Charles, every house fits on every single lot. Let me give you an example, a little bit better example, because we have some communities that have not only just the courtyard option, but we have the side load, the front load, 3-car, 2-car, everything else. So now I'm going to take you to Village Green, and then we're going to go back to that community folder template, phase 2, and then lot fits. So I'm going to pick the Bailey and Kale plan. So on this particular one, we have the 2-car front. So as you can see on every single lot here, that 2-car front fits. Very easy to understand and look at. By the way, there's a PDF file that has all the layers on it. I save each one of them as a PDF to make it easier to zoom in and zoom out. The other file is very large and takes some time. However, on the same exact plan, there's a 3-car side load option. And as you can see, that only fits on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lots. So if you have a buyer that comes into the office that wants a Bailey, and you determine that that's the right house plan for them, and but they need a 3-car and they really want a side load because they like that style elevation, then these are the only lots that you can choose from. Can't put them on 34. There's no house that goes there, and therefore, of course, you wouldn't sell them that lot. So the last way that we understand or we can use this for is a preliminary site plan. This also kind of feeds into the last point of selling the right house. So if we go back to our example for this, we can allow the buyer to see, at least preliminarily, how the house is actually going to fit on the lot and the dimensions behind that. So a lot of times I was getting requests for preliminary site plans to see what the backyard was going to look like, how much room they were going to have, if they were going to be able to park a boat in the backyard, if they were going to be able to have a swimming pool and things like that. So this actually does have a preliminary site plan, and you can always do a screen capture. There's a easy tool called the snipping tool that you can download, and you can always do a screen capture and show it to the buyers or email it to them very easily. So we have this one particular right here. Let's just say that the buyer is interested in lot number 42. They have a Bailey 3-car side load. So right now we can tell them and show them that the lot is 13,599 square feet. The dimensions are 140 by 97. And of course, there's a little bit difference because of this curve here. So now we can show them that from the very front of the house to the back of the house is 101, side is 27, and they have a backyard of 38, and then some other additional backyard right here. So if they wanted to print out and kind of sketch out some landscaping, they wanted to sketch out a pool potential area, you could help them by drawing this in, and you can always work with them. If there's adjustments that need to be made prior to the actual slab going in, then we can talk to them and look at potentially sliding this over a couple feet or sliding it over this way. Obviously, you want to make sure you always have plenty of room. These arrows dictate where the cars would pull into the driveway. So that pretty much sums it up today. Just wanted to go over everything. Of course, if you ever have any questions, welcome to email us for additional help. Thanks. Have a great day.